David, Casey Wallace, big game for him, setting up 11 from 3. How much of that was just a result of what you guys were trying to take away elsewhere versus breakdowns, or could have done better?
It was both. There were times where they rotated the ball around. He was the guy that happened to be there, and we're late contesting. There were times we broke down in rotations, which were mistakes, so we'll watch on film. I think that was a career high for him in threes. So give him credit. Like, he stepped up like he did last year in the playoffs a few times. So we just had to shore up the rotations. It wasn't good enough tonight, and that was a result of it.
What do you make of OKC's offense in general this year compared to last year in the playoffs? Felt like they got some pretty good stuff out of their guard actions. I'm just curious what you thought of them.
I think they're running the exact same stuff. It's just hunting matchups. They don't run a lot of motion or, ball movement. It's more of just finding a matchup and then attacking it, and they should do that because they have really talented isolation players and the most talented isolation player in our league. So you have to make a decision. He was really efficient tonight, 11 for 16, and he gets to the line 13 times. You can't give him both. And then on the flip side of that, if you're going to bring people, rotations have to be cleaner. He ends up with 13 assists, so he got everything tonight. They did as well with all these matchups that they bring you into. So we'll be better next time we play him. We just have to look at the tape and just do what we wanted to do, which I think was the right things, but do them better. We just didn't do it well enough tonight, not to mention 18 turnovers. Got really lucky with the second chance points. They had a lot of offensive rebounds early in the game. I'd only get 5, so they're 2 for 11 those chances. But just a lot of areas we can be a lot better.
David, on the turnovers, your guys' identity with Joker is so strong, but is there going to be a period of time here where you guys kind of have to get reacclimated playing off of him?
Yeah, I think so. I also think after a while, I felt like we were forcing things instead of just, finding the open guy. We still made 16 threes, 16 to 35. In my personal opinion, I think we could have shot 50, and they all would have been good ones for the most part, the way they guard. And a lot of that is because of Nikola. They're all in. Their whole team's guarding him. And, it's a night-to-night thing with how they're allowed to guard him as well. He shoots 4 free throws. There's a lot of contact everywhere. Their best guy shoots 13. So we just have to play through the contact. The guys said in the locker room, just have to have a more physical mindset from the beginning, and test those waters as best we can.
Nicole seemed a little bit frustrated with some of the physicality that was going back and forth with Isaiah Hartenstein and Jalen Williams. Just what do you make of, this is a thing that also popped up against OKC last year where he's getting really frustrated with some of these calls. Is he hyper-fixating on it a little bit too much, or are these fouls?
I mean, the refs call the fouls, I don't. So I don't know whatever they see is what they call or don't call. We talk about people owning their spot and all those kind of things. It's just, you have to play through that stuff, obviously. And that's not why we lost the game. But night to night, big guys are officiated different than small guys. It's just the truth. It's different quadrants of the court are called differently, but we have to react to that. And, if I have to give him more catch and shoot or whatever it may be, I'll do it. But that's just how it is, and it's the next game will be different. Different people that see the game in a different way. And like I said, that has nothing to do with the outcome tonight. They beat us. We weren't good enough. We weren't detailed enough. And I know we can be a lot better, regardless of minute restrictions and who's back and who's not and all those things. They have guys out as well, so give them credit.
It was a stretch in the second quarter where you guys were sort of just staying in the game, but it felt like there were some missed opportunities to really make a push at it.
Yeah.
Some transition missed opportunities in there. Just what did you kind of see as far as the organization of trying to get into offense, whether it was playing fast or trying to slow down in that stretch?
I mean, I thought Jamal got really good looks. We missed some wide open shots. And in transition against that team, it's hard to score. Like they're very athletic. They get back. They have shot blocking. Third quarter is the same way. I think we cut it to 3. And they make it tough on you. This is historically good defense. We had 29 assists in this game. You can't have 18 turnovers. Just 18 times you're not shooting the ball is inexcusable in a game like that. It makes it really tough. But no, I had no issue with our offense. I mean, like I said, 29 assists, made 16 threes. Just the turnovers were poor.
You said you were satisfied with the offense. Maybe that's the answer here. But they're putting so much attention on Joker sending doubles and strong side stuff, and it seems like every time that you are able to reverse the ball, which you did, they're still finding their rotations
Right.
on that weak side. Can you just talk about how good OKC's ability to recover to that other side when there's so much attention on Joker too?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing that's the most underrated about their team is just the pure athleticism that they can be, across the floor and still get a great contest. I also think, you have to be very efficient with how you pass the ball, and you got to be confident to shoot it when you get a chance. We figured that out last year in the playoffs against them. The games where we were less aggressive to take the first open shot and we drove it back in there, poor things happened. So I thought we had moments where we did that. I thought we drove it and kicked it really well. Like I said, to start the third, Jalen made a couple shots. Jamal got a good look. We stretched our defense. And I just thought we were playing a lot more downhill as opposed to, I would say, the other 3 quarters combined. So just a lot to get better at. Guys didn't have great nights that have been absolutely incredible as of late. And that's going to happen in the NBA. And if you play a good team like that and you don't have your top tier game going, you're going to get beat.
Peyton obviously was the bright spot for you guys. Did a lot of stuff on the second side with Jamal. Is this kind of how you were envisioning him fitting in with the full healthy group?
Yeah, just trying to get him to a strong hand as best we can with some movement. Pate's got the ability to get downhill. He shot the ball well tonight as well, 11 for 17. He made 5 threes. And I think the next step for Pate, like I keep talking about, is with the way the paint was packed, him trying to create corner threes just off his ability to get in that paint. And if it's Hartenstein or it's Holmgren stepping up and somebody has to crack back on a roller, there's somebody else open. And I think that'll be the next layer of his game. But yeah, Pate was really good. He competed, did his best to guard Shea, get through all those screens and all the actions that just basically just a million pick and rolls with a million different people. So yeah, Pate's effort was awesome, as it has been, the last couple months.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks guys.
Jamal and Peyton.
Thanks, Nick.